All right, Scorpios, welcome in to your monthly tarot reading. So you guys are my last zodiac for December, and we're going to see what is going on for you all. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Scorpios. If you're new, just like to call out, this is a general reading, right? So I'm tapping into the collective of all Scorpios. So this may resonate, this may not. If you have been here a while, obviously, like, I know, I have my certain tarot readers I love to watch, and I'll watch every month, and, it is more fun, but also, maybe some months aren't as spot on as others, but also take a look at your other sign readings. So like I said, your Sun, Venus, rising, or sorry, your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And you'll find something that can help you. So we are wrapping up 2025. It's kind of crazy to think we're here. The holidays are upon us. So kind of, we had November, which was a crazy month with a ton of retrograde energy. We had a lot of deep diving into the emotional space, which Scorpios, that was like your time to shine. You guys were kind of showing everyone else what to do because you guys are great at going to the depths of the unknown, the unconscious, and swimming through all, the crazy feelings that are coming up. We also had the Grand Water Trine that is still, we're still feeling that. So it was a time to really, do a review, stop and pause. And, especially at the end of the year, looking back to look at this year, what happened this year, how far we came, how are we feeling right now in this moment we're in. There was a lot of realizations about this is not how I want to live my life anymore, or anything that was in dissonance to us, meaning we just weren't resonating, right? Our frequencies weren't aligning anymore. That was really popping up. So anything that you've kind of evolved away from or grew out of, or just, isn't a part of the journey ahead, you are really noticing that dissonance and making big decisions, making changes in your life to shift and to make sure, either walking away from things, trying to do things differently, come up with new plans. And that's what we're kind of doing now, culminating at the end of the year and looking forward into 2026. What do we want to keep doing? What do we not want to do? It was really forcing us, the energies right now, forcing us to align with our authentic self, right? And this could have been a whole life process for us that has really hit ahead of, you really have been living your life up until now aligned with what society has told us, our families told us, this whole image of this is the template, right, that you should live. This is the template of relationship, of marriage. This is the template of what you do, of how you align your life, or what kind of work we get in. What does success look like? And you just really have been realizing, especially the last 7 years, I'm not happy here. And I'm really not, I'm feeling more and more burdened by this life. Because we did have, or we still have, but we had Uranus in Taurus the last 7 years. And that is doing its last kind of dance with Taurus. And that's going to be shifting into Gemini next April. So these last couple months, we're going to start feeling more and more of the squeeze, because these lessons of Uranus and Taurus it's given us 7 years to learn them or to make the changes. And if we haven't done them yet, we're going to start feeling more and more of that squeeze inside of us. And also the external world is going to put more and more pressure. And you're like, what's going on? Why is everything being so challenging and difficult? Well, in reality, it's because we are resisting the changes that Uranus and Taurus are asking us to make. Obviously, Uranus and Taurus are a bit opposite. Uranus is the planet of freedom. It's the sign of, getting us free from the ties that bind us to things that don't serve us. Uranus is about radical changes and shifts that can be sudden and surprising. It has given us 7 years, so we have had plenty of time. But Taurus is kind of resisting Uranus, because Taurus is like, hey, Taurus likes the status quo. Taurus likes the comfortability of what it knows, right? It finds stability and security in what it knows, sometimes to its detriment. Taurus likes to feel solid and grounded. But the thing is, the things we're holding on to are not solid and grounded anymore. And it's turned into a codependency. So that's been a real big energy. So there has been a lot of endings for people, walking away from things, sudden changes that maybe were unexpected, and you're kind of in the backlash or the dust of, whoa, what's happening? Why did this happen? Maybe it's something you've been aware of for a while, but you just haven't been willing to make the changes. Or maybe you suddenly made the change because you just couldn't handle the situation anymore. So lots of good stuff there. So a little bit of the astrology for Scorpios in December. So there's going to be at the beginning of the month, like you have the Sun, Venus, and Mars in your kind of money house, your house of money. So it's going to put a spotlight on your finances. But I like the Sun and Venus there because the Sun and Venus are more positive, so it's going to like improve. But Mars is going to ask you to take some action on it. Like, what do I need to do to like maybe create more financial stability? As we're closing out the year, it's like tying up loose financial ends. If you've been feeling some kind of financial constraints this year, I do feel like things are going to start to improve. But the one thing I do like is you have the full moon on the 4th, which is a great energy for kind of looking at, okay, what do I need to change? What do I need to let go of to kind of then bring in more abundance or wealth or improvement in my financial area? You then have Mercury moving into Sagittarius on the 11th, and that's going to really be a great time for inspiring you with some ideas that potentially you could utilize to create profits from or grow your wealth or success. So definitely use that energy with Mercury being the sign of like ideas, intellect, communication. And then you have Sagittarius, which is that fire energy, which is kind of like putting yourself out there and kind of socializing those ideas and energies. Let's see, there's also great manifestation with that energy as well for you, Scorpio. So definitely dream a big dream. Put your intentions out. Lately I've been really advising to say, I align with financial stability. I align with, whatever, I align with now, doing my work that I love full time. Something like that. So definitely use this energy in mid-month to help you align with, but start doing it now, right? You don't have to wait till certain aspects are good for that. Mars is going to move into Capricorn on the 15th. So, that's going to be great promotion for you guys as in regards to traveling, getting out there. So definitely towards the end of the month, you may have holiday trips, or you may just want to plan a trip for the winter. Get out of, if you're dealing with the winter weather, you may want to go somewhere warm. But then the new moon on the 19th, which is in Sagittarius, is great for kind of, again, the new moon is about what do I want to bring in, but there is some great energy around potentially getting some sort of jump in your wealth. So that could be, you know, a promotion, a bonus. It's definitely around end of year for people who are in like the more business sector or corporate sector. So you could be seeing something there. So just wanted to call that out for you all. And if you are interested in a personal reading with me, you can book one on my website, which is linked below in the description. Also, with the holidays coming up, I just wanted to make sure and call out, go take a look at my Etsy shop and see if there's some good ideas there. I do feel like I make handmade crystal jewelry, and they are all they're energy tools. So I do have someone do Reiki on them, since I don't do Reiki, but someone does golden healer energy Reiki on them. And then I also do a ritual with them in the full moon, and the full moon energy kind of helps to cleanse them, activate them, and bring in that full kind of potential of the energy they can use, that you can use as tools to support you in whatever you need. You want to manifest things, you're going through some sort of healing. There's stones for grief, for sadness, if you're dealing with that. If you want to just bring in more positive energy and happy energy, you can find that. If you want to work with like childhood traumas, or even past life integration, manifest, if you want to bring in love or wealth or abundance. It runs the gamut. And that's why I tell people, I think stones are something that we should all be using, because that's what they're here for, is to help really the earth and us to use. So, all right, let's get started into the reading here. So I'm first going to look at your past energies that are kind of influencing you. So we have storm, spirit, and chaos, and overcoming obstacles. So definitely the past couple months, I do feel like you could have been going through some emotional chaos, a little bit of storm in some area of your life that you're trying to navigate. Definitely feel like you are overcoming that, or maybe you're already feeling the energy of you're on the other side of whatever happened here, and you went through a difficult, kind of area on your path, right? But you've kind of learned a lot from this, I feel. And you also know that you can get through this, but it was something that you just had to surrender to and allow it to unfold. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, this brought a lot of disappointments. This could have been something big in your life where, it ended up not working. Something didn't end up working out, or end up kind of blowing up. But really you needed to kind of work through this, to me, to be ready for 2026. And this is like, to me, kind of that last bit of Uranus and Taurus here. So you're kind of at this point where I feel like you could have lost some stuff, you could have walked away from stuff, or some things ended, and you're kind of in this place of just like, okay, I'm allowing myself to feel the feels. And that's maybe where you're sitting in now, of just kind of like, hey, I'm not on the new path yet. I'm kind of just in the midst of reeling, or kind of healing, or just kind of processing what you've been through. This could have been this year too, in general. Eight of Wands and Six of Swords. I like this, but you are the energy, past energy. So I feel like you're already moving on from this. Like you're already moving forward in a better direction, definitely with this Eight of Wands, Six of Swords, because these are movement cards. Eight of Wands is, the Swords and Wands are faster movement, where the Pentacles is slow. So definitely I feel like potentially you getting through this process maybe felt slow, but you've kind of now come out of this and you're moving forward. And I feel like the universe has also already guided you, and you're already on the trajectory on this new path that you're supposed to be on. And things have already begun to kind of ease up or become easier for you going into December. Okay, let's see your current energies. So, Standing Stones Passage and Discovering Truth. You stand in the light of truth. So, in this card, kind of, you know, even though I use these cards frequently, all my cards, you know, different readings, I just pick up on different things of the card. And obviously that's intuitive as well, but sometimes I pick on something different that's really coming out at me from the picture. I feel like this discovering truth, like it's almost like you weren't digging for something or trying to understand something, but just like through passing, through just your day-to-day life. This could be even from like a download or from spirit, or it could be from messages that you come across from other people. There's something that you uncovered that really was like hit you, really aligned with you, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's really helping you on your path moving forward. And there's something about, you know, this passage, Standing Stones card, you know, it reminds me of kind of like a portal energy, and that these stones are actually positioned to harness energies and create almost like a doorway. You know, it's like that show, that Scottish show with the like romance show. I can't think of it. Oh my gosh. I'm lately I'm not good at just like random remembering of things, which is not good. But anyways, where she fell through the stones into another time. And it's like, I feel like that's what's happening for you, Scorpio, is essentially you are using some sort of energetic portal as a passage to like a new kind of timeline here. And part of this is uncovering some to me, your truth or some truth that's really helping you navigate this next kind of path ahead. Right, we have the moon. So we do have, you know, I'm doing this reading obviously before, this is the, you know, week before the first week of December, but we have the full moon in Gemini coming up. So there is something about the full moon that to me I'm getting is going to enlighten something for you. Like this full moon is really going to put a spotlight or enlighten something that was hidden. But I think this is going to be something really important for you to use in a positive way. There's something, yeah, around the spotlight uncovering some sort of truth here. 8 of Pentacles. So this could be tied to work. Something with work too. There could, the moon, that energy around the full moon could enlighten something around work for you. Or put a spotlight on you in a positive way. 7 of Cups. Yeah, it's like the moon. So the moon, when we think of like the moon energy in the card, it's like it's nighttime, so everything is in the dark, but the moon is the one thing that's helping to give some sort of illumination, right? But there's still a lot of, you know, not everything's lit up like during the day. So there's still a little bit of like, you know, the moon is Pisces, and it's about the unconscious and what's unseen, or what do we not fully know. And it's, so this 7 of Cups can be about confusion. So I do feel like there's some enlightening and clearing up any confusion, especially around work or money. This could also be doing internal work, like doing work within your own emotional body. And something really comes together here, and I like this because it's enlightening some sort of focus on clarity around, your dreams and desires as well. All right, so future state, what's coming in? We have renewal, frog energy, and choosing your path. All is possible. Yeah, I definitely feel like you're at a pivotal point on your path. We talked about this passage of this timeline shift. And I feel like in this new timeline, like anything is possible right now for you Scorpios. So I would really open yourself up to the impossible right now. And that, you know, we even think like the Frog Prince story. We have the frog here with the, he is wearing a crown in this card. So I feel like something that doesn't appear to be something big, all of a sudden turns into, like the frog turns into the prince, right? You're like soulmate or something. So there is this where it's almost like I'm feeling really magical time for you, that things can go from one thing to something just completely different in the drop of a hat. And I think you just need to be open to this. So choosing your path ahead, like your choices you make, you got to dream big. I'm hearing for you guys. Dream big. Don't settle. Choices you make right now, don't just do them out of fear or out of like, oh, this is comfortable. Because I feel like there is going to be potentially, you'll have, you know, the Seven of Cups too can be about like spoiled for choices. So it's like you could have multiple options here and just be spoiled for different potential, you know, directions you go. And it's all about going really big, right? So this has been a real renewal period for you. I kind of do want to read this card for you guys. So Frog Spirit. The Spirit of the Frog says, be willing to release any preconceived notions of how life should unfold. This is a time to be adaptable. Be willing to change. Abundance and good fortune will follow. So it also references the frog's stages of development, and it symbolizes renewal, resurrection, and transformation. This card speaks of a profound restoration of your life that is occurring. If your past was less than successful, remember this: what has occurred does not need to mandate what will occur. So there's some symbolism here of like, you've gone through this major transformation, and same thing, like anything is possible right now. These cards are very similar, so that's interesting. Let's see what the tarot says about this. Ten of Swords, Queen of Wands, and Nine of Swords. So I see this as more, what's coming in is an ending to a period for you that has been very stagnant, or the Nine of Swords can represent too like a never-ending nightmare. Like you're kind of stuck in this Groundhog Day. And if you feel like that's been your life for a while, like you've been really wanting some sort of expansion or growth or something to change or something to come in, and it just like, you know, same old, same old. I feel like that's what's ending for you. And what really is happening is you are really aligning with your highest version of yourself here with the Queen of Wands. And you're very powerful right now. I do feel like there's a lot of, you're just aligning and you're feeling it. You know, this is fire energy. So we are in Sagittarius season now in December, and it's like you're using this fire energy coming in and you're using it to create. And you're on fire. I kind of hear you're on fire with what you're doing, what you're creating, whatever you're, you know, expressing or putting out into the world, or the action you're taking this month. Make sure it's really aligned with your authentic self. Because I think when you're doing that, things are just going to like, there's going to be synchronicities everywhere. And I feel like whatever you put out, and if it's truly in alignment with your happiness, or you're just feeling inspired to do something, it's going to produce some sort of big results for you. I think it's going to bring in people. You're really magnetizing abundance, success, money, even connections that are supportive and in alignment with your new energies as well. Okay, so then in the good stuff, let's see good stuff here. It looks like you definitely have some, most of this is really good this month. You have the Raven Spirit Truth, another truth card. You had discovering truth, and then staying focused, hold the course. So I'm kind of getting to keep, maybe you're feeling more motivated or inspired, like I said, to, if you're a creative person and you're putting energy into something like a new project, or maybe you're putting energy into your healing skills or your spiritual skills and trying to align with something that's more in line with your purpose, or even like, you're trying to make more money or get a promotion or something. That's like holding the course of just, maybe it hasn't fully produced yet what you really want it to, like the end result, but I just feel like just keep diligently doing what you're doing, and something's about to I feel like, especially the beginning of 2026, things are going to start to really, you're going to start to see results. So just stay the course, stay focused, and expressing your truth. Just continue to stay in alignment with your truth, with who you are. There's a lot of signs, there's been kind of themes of like boundaries. And I think it's more of like, especially at this last half of the year, kind of what our souls and the energies have been wanting from us is to align with our authenticity. Do things that are more us. Say no when we don't want to do something. But say yes when we really want to. And it's more listening to our own inner voice in our own soul rather than listening to the chatter around us. There definitely is something around, don't let the voices in the external world, whether it's, partners, spouses, friends, family, the media, the news, get in our ear. Even like at work, I'm hearing like bosses, like, your truth. And we have to stay the course of really setting our boundaries, aligning with our own values, with what we want to do, what we don't want to do. And I think as long as you keep doing that, things are going to start shifting here. I think it was almost like a test the last couple months of this intensity, because for one, it needed to put the squeeze on us, especially from an emotional standpoint. We needed to really bring up anything that we were still holding on to frequency-wise to kind of process it. But I feel like it's really been weighing on us, but we got to keep standing in our truth, and things are going to improve. All right, so we have the Two of Pentacles. So usually with this card, I'm actually getting something different. There's something about alchemizing that there's a lot of things up in the air right now, but I feel like you're really using it in a way that's, you're kind of making the best of it, right? A lot of things are up in the air right now. Nothing is like set in stone right now, but like she's kind of working with these energies. She's kind of working with what she has and just kind of surrendering to this like up and down energy that's definitely been going on. She could also be kind of like, there's decisions up in the air. Like I said, you don't necessarily know 100% how this is going to unfold, but I think you're really working with it in a good way. Five of Swords. Seven of Swords. Oof, interesting. So, but this is in the good stuff. So this Five of Swords has been coming up a lot in the good stuff for people. And when this comes up in the good stuff, to me, how I read it is that you're going to come out of a situation like ahead of everyone else. Like you're coming out of maybe a difficult situation or challenging, or it has been. And maybe feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to navigate this. Like maybe you've dealt with a lot of manipulators or controlling people. But I feel like this is starting to like even out. Like it's almost like you're navigating these crazy waves. And then all of a sudden, like the storm just dies down. And I think you've learned a lot. But you're also have learned a lot on how to navigate and deal with certain types of people. But you're going to win. Okay, this to me is like you're winning something from this, because the Five of Swords can equate to like a battle or a conflict that in the end both people lose. So when we approach things in the Five of Swords, in the end both people lose. And if you're constantly trying to control something or create a certain outcome, eventually you will lose too. But when the Five of Swords is in the positive, I feel like you will win. Like you're definitely winning out of a situation, which I like. And with the Seven of Swords, to me, it's like you're getting out of this really easily. And because the Seven of Swords can be about a guy who's kind of stealing swords from an army. So there's an army in the background usually in this card, and he's kind of sneaking away, stealing their swords so they can't use the swords against him. But it's like he's also like stealing, but in the positive way. I feel like you almost feel like, wait, how did I get out of this? And just, it's almost like winning something. You're like, how did I, how did I come out of this so good? Or you may feel like you're kind of laughing, like running out of a situation laughing because you somehow got something really great from it, which is interesting here. So let's get a couple clarifiers. I want to see what this Eight of Wands, Six of Swords, like what's this direction now you're moving? Knight of Cups. So I do feel like there's something around this. The Knight of Cups is around romance or relationships typically. So I do feel like if love is something you're, inquiring about, I do feel like there's love coming in for you if you're single or looking. It's almost like this traveling, right? Like you're traveling, but this is coming in fast. Like you're traveling towards each other here. I do feel like you're moving in a better direction in regards to love and relationships. So if you are in a relationship that has been difficult or challenging, I do feel like things are going to start to get easier for you. What's the moon enlightening here? Let's see. What's the moon? Seven of Wands. The Emperor. I'm going to get, let's see, the Eight of Pentacles, King of Cups, and the Seven of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. So I do feel like you, like I said, you're really in alignment this month. Like you're in real alignment with, especially like in magnetizing things. Like for us to magnetize something in the physical, we have to be real in alignment with it. And I feel like you are in alignment with your dreams and your desires, and you're just, it's like things are just coming to you. So I do feel like there is potentially someone who has been doing their own work. So if you are looking for love, I feel like this King of Cups is coming in, potentially an Emperor type energy, which would be like a true, soulmate type person who's really kind of mature and has their shit together. So it could be male or female. But the moon is like, there is something being enlightened around, and this is going to be around the full moon. So that's the 4th of the month. So there is going to be something with some sort of person or persons that's coming to the forefront here. Something that you really stood up for in your values and I think finally, like, you're going to be seen. There's something that really is going to be kind of brought up that wasn't maybe seen. And you're going to see, you could see this person in a different way, or this person could be looking at you in a different way. For those of you, if this is work related, I do feel like potentially work is going to shift and it's going to turn to be more fulfilling. You could also have a change in your boss as well, and this person is a lot better and they really come from their heart and they're very caring. So I feel like that's going to really shift the energy at work for you, which is great. What's the Ten of Swords? Two of Swords. So like I said, it's an ending to a stalemate or just stuckness. And we said that. It's like you're stuck in this Groundhog Day and there's an end to this and you're finally getting off out of this, like, stuck where you're at, and there's movement here. Nine of Swords, Ten of Cups. Yeah, I definitely feel like too, a lot of you have been like, am I ever going to have the Ten of Cups? Am I ever going to find that relationship? Am I ever going to reach a place in my life where I'm fulfilled? And I think because of what's happened this year, and if some things have ended that maybe you thought were going to be great and they didn't work out, right? We have the kind of disappointment card in the past. I do feel like there's this, like, worry that, you know, maybe it's just not going to happen for me. But what the cards are saying is maybe you're not seeing it yet, but you are really getting into alignment right now, and you are magnetizing the things that you desire. Let's see the Two of Pentacles and the good stuff. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like you've been in this uncertain energy around some sort of results. So you could feel like, hey, I've been sowing seeds for more money or wealth, or I've been sowing seeds to in some sort of, like, side work that I've been trying to do that I want it to become my full-time work, whatever that is, because the Seven of Pentacles is about you've really been diligently putting time and effort into something, investing even money, tending to a dream or goal or wish. And I feel like finally that's about the harvest, right? You're finally, like, receiving your harvest here. So something's going to be produced this December for you. And I just took out this other deck to clarify these other two cards, and the first card that came out was the Sun. So something is going to work out in your favor that you feel like has been challenging for you. Seven of Swords. Four of Cups. So again, a lot of maybe people have disappointed you in the past. Maybe you felt a little cheated out of your life in general in certain aspects, like maybe cheated in love. Again, there's something about, like, things not working out for you, but I feel like they finally do start working out. And look at the Magician just fell out, and the Ten of Swords. So to me, this is it's an end to disappointments, to reoccurring disappointments, an end to in the Magician here. So, like, you, again, you are powerful right now. I feel like you are magnetizing some great things, and I feel like you're going to come out ahead in some area of your life here, and it's going to be which is kind of signifying, again, the end to disappointments for you. High Priestess. Oh my gosh, Judgment. So lots of spiritual, you've been really doing the energetic work, and you could also feel, this just fell out to the World. Oh my gosh. it's like things are finally coming together for you from an energetic standpoint. If you've really been, I feel like for a lot of people, especially if you already are tapping into your kind of spiritual gifts, I feel like they are just exponentially expanding right now. December, the beginning of December is a pivotal time to really do the time to focus on that. This is also a time to rest and rejuvenate, do meditation, clear your mind. Don't be like too over busy, because we have some major pivotal energetic days, which we have the full moon on the 4th, we have the 12/12 portal, and then we have on the 19th of December is when AI Atlas is going to be the closest to Earth. And from what everyone is channeling and picking up, same with me, is it's actually going to almost be like a gift. It's going to gift us with a frequency upgrade, and it's going to almost help us shift our timeline. So we need to be prepared for that 19th day, because we need to clear out anything that's blocking us. And we definitely want to be highly receptive to what's coming in on the 19th. And especially being Scorpios, and you are the most kind of spiritually kind of intuitive sign, this is very important for you guys to prep the beginning of the month and kind of be prepared for that 19th energy. And then things are just, I feel like after the 19th, things are just going to really move quickly and expand. And it's almost like it's referring to like shifting timelines. And I feel like this passage is really that AI Atlas energy of, it's going to almost be like we've really gone through some sort of portal. Wow, Scorpios, this was a great reading for you guys. I mean, to me, December is going to just, overall, is just an amazing month for everyone. So it's really going to be exciting to see how this unfolds for everyone. So make sure and let me know in the comments how things are going for you. I'd love to see you come back to throughout the month and tell me what has really came out of this. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go. I also want to put a plug so you are looking out for it. So make sure and hit the bell and subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out the 2026 yearly forecast for all the signs next month. And those are going to be amazing. We're going to look at themes for the year. I'm also going to specifically tap into the Neptune-Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees Aries, which is in February, to see how that's going to impact you, because that's going to be a huge astrological event. And then there'll also be an extended that you won't want to miss, that I'm going to dive into specifically for you guys, love and romance for the year, and also work and career, which I don't normally do. All right. Well, thanks again. Enjoy your month. Enjoy the holidays if you celebrate, and I will see you in the next reading.